I was chatting with my good friend Deadpool, and we decided that today we're going to be talking about creative outlets. Good morning, beautiful people. Here we are. It's Wednesday. I love Wednesdays. I don't know why. It's a weird thing. Most people, I don't know. Do you guys like Wednesdays? I was going to say most people don't, but I guess I don't know that for sure. That's just, word on the street, I guess. I don't know, but I love Wednesdays. We are halfway through our week. Yes. And it is a super windy day at my house. No. So, we are indoors. No meeting on the deck today. That's okay, because I've got a giant window that I can watch all the wind out of. Yay! So, how's everybody's week? Good. Okay, so feel free to share this live stream. Today I'm going to be talking about another tool that I have that will help you enrich your life. I know it sounds so over the top amazing, but really super simple, and everybody can do it. It's so great. So take a second, share this live stream if you would like. I'm going to... Yeah. Bam. Just like that. Done. Posted. Welcome. Here we are. Oh, man. So, I was chatting with my good friend here. Hold on, I'll show him to you. He's pretty cute. With my good friend Deadpool. And we decided that today we're going to be talking about creative outlets. They are amazing for so many different things, but a couple of the top things are stress reduction. We can better channel our energy into one thing, which is really great for our brains to practice, is just focusing on one thing instead of running in 50 million directions like it likes to do. And it also sometimes can create a positive distraction. If there's a lot happening in your life, then having positive distractions is it's irreplaceable. We can get distracted by all kinds of things, especially when we're working through some tough stuff. TV, internet, scrolling mindlessly on Facebook. If you're scrolling mindlessly this morning and found yourself here, I'm so happy you're here. Maybe it was for a reason. But typically, when we do that, it's, a way to check out. And that's not good. That's not good. So creative outlets allow us to actually check in, and gives us a way to not be so focused on the other stuff that is just whoa, super big, maybe stressful. Maybe it's not stressful. Maybe it's just super big and exciting, but there's a lot of moving parts. I don't know your life. I hardly know mine most of the time. Just kidding. I know mine. Okay. Anyway, so creative outlets allow us to have a positive distraction from the big things that are happening that we might need a break from. It's okay to need a break from things. Totally cool. And another beautiful thing that it does is it allows us to connect with ourselves, and we get to know ourselves better the more we create, because we get to see all of our thoughts that are happening on the inside come to fruition on the outside, which is pretty freaking cool. I've always considered myself a pretty creative person. I guess I just never took the time until the last few years to appreciate how incredibly awesome it is to have thoughts that are non-tangible, like the least tangible thing, come to fruition, and now I can see it in front of me, or I can hold it, or I can taste it, and I can smell it, and I can use all of my awesome senses to enjoy the things that are happening inside my head. So cool. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. Also, it helps us, tap into our authenticity. What are we all about? How do we tick? How do we move in this world? What's important to us? Sometimes our creative outlets will really bring those things to the forefront, which is pretty cool. Okay, so creative outlets, and this is something that I hear from people when I talk to about creating, is they're like, oh, well, I'm not really a great artist, or I am terrible at drawing, or I've never picked up a paintbrush. I doubt that I could even do anything, or I have picked up a paintbrush and it was terrible. I was not relaxed while I was doing it. It didn't come out the way I thought it would. And that is totally okay. Creative outlets aren't always in the form of paper, pencil, paint, chalk, all of those things. They are great tools, and if you flow with a particular medium of art and you just cannot get enough of painting with oil paints or chalk or whatever, cool, keep doing that. That's so great. But if you find it even more stressful than what you're trying to distract yourself from, or just allowing that de-stress process, then you should probably pick something different. And you can be creative in so many obscure ways. It's ridiculous. Like, it is so crazy to me the amount of creative outlets we have available to us all the time. So I kind of brainstormed a few that, we don't even think about as being creative outlets, but they are definitely creative outlets. So there's things like baking or cooking, like working in the kitchen. You can be incredibly creative. Think about, working with recipes and thinking about how you can change things up a bit, or which ingredients to use, or maybe you have a recipe that you tried before, but you think it might work better with this other ingredient. So that is hugely creative and hugely stimulating to us. And it still pulls from who we are and allows us to connect to that authenticity. Like, what do we like? And baking wise, baking, you can change up recipes a little bit. I don't recommend messing with them too much unless you really know what you're doing. Otherwise, they're not going to come out great. Baking's just like that. But decorating, my mom loves to decorate sugar cookies, and she does such a great job at it. Like, sometimes I watch her and I'm like, why don't you have a bakery selling these beautiful sugar cookies? Because they're incredible. But that's one of her ways that she sits to just de-stress. She gets out all of her different colors and her frostings, and she's so good at it. So don't limit yourself to just paper and then art supply, paint, pencil, whatever. So there's cooking, and then you could do things like clay. There's you can build things like lawn art. You can do any kind of craft if you're really good at like making cards with paper, and stamps and all that. That's a really great outlet. It still spurs the brain and gets you thinking about things. Obviously, there's things like music. That's like, yes, music, so cathartic, such a great medium to get things out of ourselves. Dance, one of my favorites. I love to dance. Dancing is so creative, and again, just really allows you to pull what's inside and put it on the outside. Oh my gosh, yes. And okay, so if you guys, oh no, I can't remember the name of it. But if you guys have Netflix, there is this awesome gardening show. It's like French Gardens or something. There's only 3 episodes, which was like, oh no, I wanted more. But they talk about French gardens, and they go and explore a bunch of different ones, and they talk about the different elements and what really makes a French garden. And the last episode, they did a parallel between gardening and, famous works of art. Painting wise. And really, truly, I didn't even think about it, but gardening is a huge creative outlet, and you could do so much with a garden, and there's like a bajillion different types of plants out there that you can work with. And seriously, the possibilities are endless. Obviously you have to know how to keep the plants alive, which that's kind of a learning curve. But if you're already into gardening, even if you're not already into gardening, just pick some really simple ones that you can keep alive easily and see what you can do with it. Like, I saw some freaking gorgeous gardens on this show. Like, I was in shock. French gardens they're so different than how we run things here in America, but so beautiful. So beautiful. So, gardening, great creative outlet. Also, decorating your home takes a lot of creativity, takes a lot of thinking and processing. And again, another great way to pull what's on the inside and put it out. That's the thing here. That is the biggest thing about these creative outlets. Like I said, it helps with a lot of different things, but the coolest thing, I'm telling you, is just being able to witness what's on the inside in a three-dimensional space, on the outside, and being able to share that with the people around you. Like, that's, to me, that's what art is all about, is first witnessing self and then allowing that to connect with others and to share that with others. So do not limit yourself when looking for creative outlets. And I would love to hear how you guys, release that energy and what your creative outlets are, because there are so many of them. And me, I like to do all the things, and I'll probably try them if you leave them in the comments and be like, oh yes, I gotta try that. My husband will be like, oh, one more thing you're gonna do. Just kidding. He loves it when I do all the things. Yes, so don't limit yourself, follow your intuition, and allow yourself to just be and create, and it's going to be beautiful. I promise. All right, well, I will let you guys go. Happy Wednesday, and we'll chat soon. Ta-ta.